Welcome to the Nevada Entrepreneurs Podcast, episode 3. I'm here with my good friend and founder of Guided Arrows, Lindsay Bradley. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you got started with Guided Arrows?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question. So I started my company in 2019, and did not anticipate for what was about to happen in 2020. You finally get the courage to start your own business, leave a nice 6-figure cushy corporate job, and there you have it. So if anything, helped me to be more resilient. And so anyway, the whole purpose behind starting Guided Arrows really goes pretty far back in my career, like early work experiences and working in a culture that was very toxic, having micromanagers for bosses, just really bad environments, to the point where I was having an anxiety attack in the parking lot before going to work. And
Wow.
That was kind of the start of like, I don't think anyone should ever have to feel that way.
So why did you get into specifically the fields of HR work, people, culture? Because you're not just the HR lady. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that? Because I know people keep calling you that.
Yeah. Definitely don't consider myself the HR lady. While I do have that experience from working internally in HR roles and doing kind of that day-to-day transactional work, my focus is really on now helping founders and franchisees, new business owners, understand that, business, having a successful business and having great people aren't mutually exclusive. And so really trying to find mutual value in how you build your business. And I really start with the foundation of building mission, vision, core values. What does your business stand for? And the more you believe in that, the better off you are to find the people that find connection and purpose in what you do. And I just know from experience, when you find those people that are willing to share that vision, you're going to get a lot more out of them. They're going to be happier, and ultimately I think that's what it's about. If you're going to take on the task of scaling and building a business, which you can't do without people, you need to make sure that you're setting your foundation right from the start. And a lot of times HR gets put on the back burner. It will come back to bite you. It will come back to bite you for sure.
Yeah, well, what she's talking about too is you can get sued in ways you did not understand, and it can be too late. So that's why Guided Arrows is a good HR company to get in touch with if you have any amount of employees, even if it's just 1 or 2, because you got to make sure they're taken care of and that you are taken care of on the back end as the CEO, founder, business owner, because if you miss that step, you will be surprised. There's a lot of things you can get sued for in this country. So be really careful with that. And actually, you've got a workshop coming up next month. You want to explain a little bit about that?
I do, yeah. So I am actually hosting an in-person workshop here in Reno on April the 23rd, and it's really driven towards helping maybe solopreneurs that are thinking about hiring their first employee, or companies that have already started, brought on a few employees, or the dreaded they've brought on contractors, not realizing that they should really be classified as employees. But the whole purpose of the workshop is to give the very basics, like what to expect. Because if you've never hired an employee before, there are certain compliance aspects that you need to think about. And you want to make sure that all your ducks are in a row so that you don't run into, a problem, as you were saying about, being sued. I mean, there's just, state obligations, federal obligations, things like that you just want to make sure that you're protecting yourself and your people. And a big part of that too is in that workshop, we'll go over that compliance aspect, but I'm also going to dive into creating a solid job description so people know what's expected of them. Because if you bring someone on and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, you're probably going to be disappointed and they're probably not going to stay.
Yeah.
So, talking about the importance of, setting expectations and communicating up front.
Oh, absolutely. And what is the website they can find this workshop at to get a ticket?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, guidedarrows.com/events, and that will have more about the event, what you can expect, and then a registration link as well. So it is a half-day workshop. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So really hands-on, able to, collaborate with other business owners in the area, but really get some hands-on attention as well. And we'll be going through some, like, you'll get some takeaways that you can implement right away, templates, guides, toolkits that'll really help you understand what you need to know before you take that leap.
If you are in the Reno area and you need some help with this is definitely worth the cost. There's a reason that Guided Arrows is a Nevada Entrepreneurs Affiliate Partner now that will be promoted at the end of each event, and that is because it is so important for all of you out there, especially if you have any amount in your team, to get better with people, culture, HR services. I strongly recommend, especially if you're in this area, get on out to her workshop on April 23rd, and you said it's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a great way to spend your Wednesday morning. Come on over to that, and unintentionally, it's the same day as our event, April 23rd. So if you go to that, just show us that you came, and then you'll get a free ticket to our event that same night. That starts 5 hours after her workshop wraps up, because it's that important. Like, I want you all out there as entrepreneurs all over Nevada, you Vegas crowd too, not just Reno, to understand the importance of having a good setup for your business when it comes to HR, people, culture, because like I said, there's a lot of hidden dangers there you might not realize if you don't have that set up. So definitely reach out to Lindsay, and looking forward to hearing more about this workshop.
Yeah, and I can work with, people. I work with people across the country, across the state. So just because you may not be in Reno, like, we can jump on a Zoom. Thank goodness for technology these days. I work with a ton of clients, just virtually, and we can have the same impact. But it's just good to have information, and again, kind of setting the tone for what you want for the future of your business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is super important. And I know that you built a good friendship with our last podcast guest, Cheyenne Iverson. What have you two been doing together since that last event?
Yeah, Cheyenne's great. So we've connected since then, and really finding kind of ways to collaborate based on her expertise in helping business owners understand contracts, agreements they might be getting into, just different aspects, from that perspective. But a lot of times I have those same business owners who just, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And so having someone, a reliable resource to say, hey, this doesn't quite seem right. What should I be looking for in this contract? Or they get into, there's so many people promising you the moon, especially when it comes to like advertising and different things. It's like just having someone with the knowledge that Cheyenne has to say, ooh, actually, like, that's not for your benefit, or you need to restructure this, partnership or things like that. So yeah, we're definitely finding ways to, create some collaboration efforts, even for myself, like looking at using her services too, to say, well, I haven't revised some of my agreements recently. Hey, what do you think? So
yeah, that's really what getting together and networking is about. It's about who you meet and who you stay in touch with afterwards. And it's not just, you go to an event, you talk to people, and you never see them again. No, your goal should be to find those one or two people, or who know those one or two people, that could be a big difference maker in your life, for your business, and how you can make a difference for them too. When there's a real value exchange there, that's where the real growth happens. So that's why events like hers, events like ours, it's good for you to get out to those, because you'll meet somebody that you never thought you were going to meet at that one event, and that could change your entire life. So, for anybody out there who hosts events, like, hats off to you. This is not an easy thing for us. If you are hosting an event, a lot of people are last minute buyers.
yes.
That is just how it goes.
Yep.
And I had a friend that I've been collaborating with for a Thursday event I'm hosting ask me if I'm going to cancel the event because of 6 days out. I'm like, no, that's not how I do things. And I have people that already said they wanted to go, and they already bought their tickets today. So you just gotta be patient when you're hosting events, and just realize that not everybody buys way in advance, and if somebody does, then consider yourself lucky,
Yeah.
because it's this is the event hosting business. So if you want to have a better structure for your business, I would be going if I wasn't flying in at the same time. My flight is during this workshop. But for those of you who live out here, strongly recommend you go to this workshop. And if you can somehow make it from Vegas, then you should go to this workshop too. I know that's a little tougher. Hats off to you, Lindsay, for hosting this. And I appreciate that you do this business and started this, because it's a very important type of business for entrepreneurs, especially who have teams, to get involved with. I mean, I love the offer that you had for attendees of my events, where it's $100 off the consultation call if you're an attendee and you use that same code within the 5-day window of the event. That's what we do now at these events, if I haven't told you already, is at the end of each event, I announce all our partners that can help you in the region we're in, whether we're here in Reno or back in Las Vegas. And then it's up to you to follow through with that code. We got numerous types of businesses, from gyms to podcast studios, that we've partnered up with. So the only way you're going to find out about what deals you're getting are if you come to these events. So that's something we offer now at the end of every event.
Take advantage. I mean,
take advantage. There's deals out there that these great businesses want to help you get involved with. So you said you've been in this since 2019. And what are the most satisfying parts about your business? Like, what gets you up the most, and what drives you the most when it comes to like past results that you just want to go after and keep getting for future clients, because you know how gratifying it felt?
Gosh, that's a great question, and I could go so many directions with that. I think, one client that comes to mind is, they were hiring one of their first employees. They were a little bit unsure. They were about a few months into it, and it's like, oh, is this working? Is this person going to work out? And I kind of helped them design some, connection questions, one-on-one, like performance conversations. And turns out, like, they just weren't confident in themselves. And so we found ways to give them, some upskilling opportunities, and just kind of challenge them. The goal setting process was a little bit tough for them, but once they understood and I walked them through, their like confidence and performance just went through the roof. And it was like such a big change. And the business owner was just like, wow, I was really afraid. I was at the point where we were going to have to replace this person, but we took the time to invest, have the right conversations, and help that person instead. And now they're thriving, now that she's been there a year and a half. And so it went from, I don't know, to, this is the person on my team. So just having those good conversations and recognizing when you need to help one of your team members, I think is huge. And I think of just several instances of that where employees have started to change their trajectory of their position and be able to grow with the company and learning new skills because they've taken that initiative and really stepped in. But probably one of my favorite things is like the feedback I get from business owners is like, thank you for just being that sound of reason and for the guidance. Like, I feel like I'm floundering out here and just trying to manage. Like, you're a business owner, you have all these hats that you're wearing, and the last thing you want to worry about is HR or getting into employee drama, but giving them the tools to be successful, not just fixing it for them, but teaching them how to have those conversations or manage things for themselves so they can grow in their knowledge as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. So really, you feel the gratification from the fact that they are implementing what you're teaching them,
and they're more confident. Like they're gaining that confidence and saying, yes, I know what I'm doing. It's like half the time. I mean, do we all know what we're doing? No, but but I think it just goes back to taking the time to invest in themselves, to say, I want to be the best business owner I can. I want to be the best boss for my people. And just listening to people sometimes that are, have the skills that you don't have. And even myself, like I rely on outside other small businesses to help me with aspects of my business, because that's not my area of genius, is not to do, copywriting and newsletters and website built. Like that's not my thing. So I hire the right people to help me with that.
Part of these events is donating to amazing local charities with parts to tickets. We get amazing speakers on, like Lindsay here, who sponsored the last event. And it got more people to understand the importance of the HR services you provide and working with people and culture. Are you a native to Reno? Have you always grown up here?
I have not. So I've been here, coming up on 26 years actually. Arizona native is where I grew up, but I've lived here now longer than anywhere else. So I kind of feel like a local. I can't call myself a native. People get mad at me if I say that.
I get that.
But I consider myself a local. But I was here before a lot of this grew up. I mean, it's crazy to see the growth here in Reno, but it's been great. My career, I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for those connections, all those different experiences that I've had in this area. And to your point of what you're saying, like take advantage of connecting with other people and not to try to use it for your personal gain, but to help someone else out and like pay it forward. And you just never know who someone else knows. And like talk through the audience, talk through these people that you're meeting, and understand how you can help someone. And I think that's what makes Reno a really great community is we have definitely that entrepreneurial spirit, a lot of startup events. Like I was part of Reno Startup Week, which is always amazing. It's in September. And just to see how many new businesses, owners, ideas that are coming out of this area, it's amazing.
Yeah, and to her point right there, you never know that connection you meet through that connection. You gotta really open your mind and put the light bulb on and think, okay, I'm going to this event and I may not meet the person like right there at that event, but I could meet someone through someone they know that could be that solid next business partner, friend, connection. And the last event, we had a real smaller, intimate event. And, even though the attendance wasn't what we were hoping for, there was a pretty powerful connection made with you and Cheyenne. And really, thanks to them, I've got a pretty solid videographer out here I know too, through her husband. I mean, he was filming part of the podcast and he's got some pretty solid equipment. So we got to do some talking pretty soon. But it's just, even just a few people can make a big difference for your business. So definitely get out to events and host your own events too, related to your industry.
Yeah, you can bring value. And that's what it's really all about, is bringing value to someone. It may not instantly be, I just got a client out of this call, but someone might remember me. Like be an influencer, show people who you are and they'll remember you and it'll come full circle.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can come full circle for good, or it can come full circle in form of karma if you are not a good person. So just always have integrity, always be respectful, and just be mindful of how you talk to who you talk to. And
especially as a business owner.
Oh, especially as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. I mean, you got a lot of eyeballs on you, you've got a reputation to protect. So it's really about that, and it's about building lasting connections, adding value just the way you'd want to be added value back to you. And don't expect anything particular in return, because people that don't expect much in return usually get the most in return. So that's just something to think about. And it's paid dividends for not only myself, but a lot of people on the Nevada Entrepreneurs team back in Vegas, the affiliates I have out here, like Lindsay and her amazing business. So this thing's only growing, and the business list of affiliates is only going to grow. So stay tuned for the additional Reno businesses that get added to the Nevada Entrepreneurs link tree, because you will want to be in touch with them too. Lindsay is a great value add business. That's why I'm super grateful to have her on the team. And she was the first Reno business that we added to the Nevada Entrepreneurs Partners tab on the website. So Is there anything else that you would want to close the podcast with, or like anything that you would want to share for the audience watching?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is understand that, my scope of work may not fit your business exactly where you are in your business, but going back to connection, I know a lot of people, I have connections with a lot of people. I am happy to jump on a call, just meet, talk through what you need, and let me connect you. Let me make that connection for you if you're needing something in your business that might be helpful. Maybe I'm not at that stage for you just yet, and you need something else, like I can make that connection. So yeah, I'm grateful to be part of this community and like to see it grow and get these events going. I know how powerful connections can be, and there's been some amazing people like you mentioned, and I feel like it's only going to get bigger, and I love to support local, so always trying to do that as much as possible.
Yeah, I appreciate your contributions. I thank you a lot for that, because yeah, it's important that you and the people on your team believe in each other. And do you host these workshops like often, or do you do once a year, or is this your first one? Or
Yeah, this was the first one, and I wanted to just be a resource. I love to help people, and I want our small businesses to be successful. And so I just, kind of said, hey, I'm just going to do it, and let's see what happens. And, if there's a great response to it, I'll consider maybe doing, once a quarter or something, being able to offer this for people if the timing wasn't right. I just want to be able to let people know that there is help out there and it's affordable. Everything that I'm teaching and basically giving away is at a fraction of the cost of what it would be, to work one-on-one, or with another vendor. And so I just really want to bring value and just share information. I love to teach and love to share knowledge, because again, at the end of the day, the stronger our small business community is, the stronger our economy is, and the stronger we all are. So
yeah, and Reno is an up and coming community, and you'll definitely want to be around the right people. Get on out to her workshop, April 23rd. It's at the UNR Innovation Center
downtown. Plenty of parking. It's a great classroom environment. So it's really set up for this purpose. So
where else can they find you?
Aside from my website, guidedarrows.com, I'm also on Instagram, which is guided_arrows. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn. Pretty much type in Guided Arrows on Google and you'll find me.
There you go. Well, thank you, Lindsay. And you can find myself at nevada-entrepreneurs.com or instagram.com/nevada_entrepreneurs. My personal Instagram is at Dylan Rosner, DYLANROSNER. And we want to thank you all for tuning in to this podcast today. This is the show for Nevada-based entrepreneurs and for all the value that they can add to you guys. So we hope you enjoyed the episode. Please like, subscribe, share this if it adds tremendous value to you. And we'll see you on episode 4. Thank you.